What's up? This is Movie Buff. Solo. We've been trying to get around to making these videos, but we go to the movie so late when we get home and we're just tired and ready to go to bed. So I'm kind of doing a little play and catch up by myself. I'm going to review The Mule, Clint Eastwood's new movie. I've been a Clint Eastwood fan forever. I mean, $1 Million Baby's like one of my favorite movies ever. He's just one of those actors that demands attention when he's on screen. This has got a pretty stellar cast: Bradley Cooper, Michael Pena, Andy Garcia, Lawrence Fishburne. Most of these guys are the DEA, CIA cops in the movie. However, the Andy Garcia, he plays like the head mafioso boss that Clint Eastwood gets involved in. Basically, I mean, it's like the title said, he's a mule. He kind of gets roped into this in a kind of a weird way. The movie starts out, you kind of see he's kind of on top of the world in his own realm. He's a flower grower and proprietary. He's got his own little garden and shop outside of his house and everything, and you can kind of tell he's a ladies' man. He's real smooth talking. Everybody likes him. You know, he's all time. And you can see that he's won all these awards and he's got all these accolades for all these flowers and stuff. And basically there's a little tidbit to where it's like, you kind of see where this guy at this convention is talking about online flower delivery and you can get them shipped to your house, and he's just like, damn internet, you know. But then, you know, fast forward 12 years, he's basically out of business, foreclosing on his home. You know, the internet's basically ruined, you know, his own little thing that he had going. And so he's kind of down and out. He's moving out of his house. I think he's kind of coming to ask for money. I'm not really sure. It doesn't really say that, but I don't think he's coming for the purpose of what he shows up for. And he shows up to his granddaughter's house, and it's like her engagement party. Like, you know, she's like, "Oh, you came," and he's just kind of like goes with it, like, "Hey, yeah, da, da." And you can tell that she has never lost faith in him, even though he's kind of a piece of shit kind of person. He hasn't really been there for his family. She's kind of always held like, you know, grandpa's a good guy, you know. Anyways, you know, he can kind of tell he wasn't there for his wife. He wasn't there for his daughter. He missed his daughter's wedding. He was a horrible husband. And, you know, that they kind of get into this public fight. And he's like, you know, I'm going to go. Well, this guy kind of sees his truck's got all these stickers where he used to just drive to these flower conventions all over the United States, all over the country. He's like, "You've been around, you know," and he's like, "If you ever, you know, want to make some money, just all you gotta do is just drive." And he's like, "Just drive? Yeah, I can do that, you know." So he calls this number, and they tell him to meet at this little, you know, garage, like it's like a tire shop in El Paso or whatever. And, you know, they load his truck up and say, "Hey, you know, here's a phone. When you get to the drop-off, call this number, and we'll, you know, throw your keys in the glove box." And he's at first, he's kind of like, "Throw my keys in the glove box? What are my keys on?" He's like, you know, no one's going to steal this 1960s model truck, you know. And so he drives, it does good, and he realizes, like, he opens this envelope, you know, and there's all this freaking cash in there. And he's like, "Oh, God, Jesus," you know, like he couldn't believe, like, how much. And so, you know, obviously he, you know, kind of throws his money around a little bit. He reopens the VFW that got shut down. He, you know, helps his granddaughter, you know, graduate through cosmetology school. You know, he does all these nice, generous things, and I think he's trying to kind of like make up for lost time. And that's really relevant in the movie. You kind of realize what things are important. You know, he says many times in the movie, "Don't put work before your family, because you're gonna regret it." And he does. You know, you can see how much it's impacted his life, and now he's trying to like go back and make up for everything. But you know, the DA's hot on his trail the whole movie. Kind of, they just barely miss him every once in a while. And Bradley Cooper and Michael Pena, they're like a team, and then Lawrence Fishburne's their boss, and they're kind of like, you know, they're just zeroing in on him, you know, and they just barely miss him, and he's just kind of like by luck, really. But he gets so high in the cartel that he's like their number one mule, and that's kind of where the movie comes to a head. His ex-wife gets sick, but he still cares about her very deeply, and he has to make a choice on, you know, am I going to go off and piss off the cartel, or am I going to go, you know, be with her in her dying moments? And, you know, that's where the movie is emotionally impactful. It was a great movie. I definitely recommend seeing it if you're a Clint Eastwood fan. He's definitely all Clint in this movie. If you know what I mean. He's got his very gruff, blunt way of acting and saying certain things, and there's a bunch of kind of like, you know, laugh out loud moments if you like Clint Eastwood in that type of comedy. But yeah, man, check it out. I really liked it, so I'd probably give it like I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. It was a little long and drawn out, but it was really good. So yeah, go check it out. Until next time, see you at the movies.